Well, it is 6:45 Tuesday morning. Good morning, everyone. We're on 12 hours there, and if we add our 12 hours to our other 52 hours, and come up with a figure, that's 64 hours. So officially we've gone past our original 60 hours. So there we go, 12 hours, and still at 30 milliamps. This one is also obviously still going, but I've just wetted that one out and disturbed it, but that doesn't matter to me at the moment. I've got to find a way now of building another one of these. Obviously, as I said, adjust the binder and get it sealed. So I'll be working on that next. I won't do another update on this one just yet. A bit snivelly, excuse me, it's quite cold in the UK at the present time. So yeah, the next update, I think I should just do a very quick update, and a little bit more about this cell. Well, I say a little bit more, I haven't done a lot really, I haven't done any, I don't think, but that's a new cell. It's in the plastic can again. It's a lower grade titanium. What is it called now? Sorry, magnesium. I'm hoping and praying that my large square piece of magnesium arrives today, but I'm not that bothered, but if it gets here, it gets here. But anyway, look, 64 hours, still at 30 milliamps, so dare I say that that's going to be a giving point, if you like. It's now 7 AM Tuesday morning. I wanted to say that at this stage there's a lot that I want to do with that. I want to disconnect it, check the voltage. I want to connect that. I wanted to check the voltage on that with my and then put this on my power supply, check the current, and if it was, I've got a feeling it's 20 milliamps, but if it were to be 30 or whatever, it wouldn't make any difference. Check the voltage and run this motor with a known current at that voltage, but I'm just reluctant to touch it now, so it's a shame really, but what I'm going to do, I think I've just made a decision. I'm going to I'll set this one up when I finish work today. Unfortunately we have to go to work, most of us. I've promised people certain things, amongst other things. I've got to finish off an induction heater for someone, so that's that, isn't it? Now what I shall do, as I say, we'll measure up the voltage later on with this one, make sure everything's okay. I'll try and get some fibre washers for these now, as I said, and I think I'll, as a separate experiment, I'll run this motor from that battery and we'll see what that one does. Obviously this is still in dead short, so that cell there is seeing that meter and those leads as its load. So yeah, really would like to do that, but I'm not going to do it. I feel it's just got to run its course now. So when I've ordered some more of those squirty bottles, so I should probably end up building half a dozen of these now in different formats, i.e., you know, adjust the internals of it and adjust, by which I mean I will still keep the magnesium. Yeah, it's come to me, magnesium straight away. Keep the magnesium, keep the carbon fibre weave, keep the activated carbon. But obviously when I say adjust it, I mean, again, we can try one with the activated carbon in the binder. That's another good one, because that's where I'm going. I'm, you know, not going to deviate from that format. So now we know it works with this, not that this cell. Keep pointing to that, but yeah, we're on 90 milliamps now. Look, hopefully when I get back this evening, that will be still up there. If this went down to 30 milliamps like that now, that I would be kind of devastated, I think, because that's a 4-inch square cell. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm not going to touch it. We'll just build other batteries and try them. One, as I say, running the motor continuously, and other formats doing other things. I mean, I can put load resistors on there, so we can monitor the progress and what's going on with them. The big problem at the moment is having enough meters to carry on. I think I've got another couple spare, but yeah, as I say, folks, it's Tuesday morning, just gone 7 AM. We're on 12 hours 21 minutes now. Total 64 and a half hours, almost. Call it 64, shall we? I'm going to drink another cup of coffee and get off to work. Happy days. I will obviously speak to you soon. Well, here we are, Tuesday evening, and the battery, my new cell, is still in dead short. It's 23 hours 38 minutes on this timer, so it's this timer plus the original 52 hours on the other timers. So what have we got? 75 and a half hours altogether so far. I'm pretty chuffed about that. The 1 amp cell, again, with a little bit of pressure, the current goes up again. It's 60 milliamps. I'm going to have to build a proper one of these and you know, make it a pressurized cell. I feel that's the only way forward with this one. So we know roughly where it's going to be. I would hope that we're going to see 60 milliamps. That's just trying to go to 50 now, look, but that's, you know, without the pressure. So I feel like I'm wasting my time with that one, because it's neither here nor there. It's one of those. So what I'm going to do, I think, is with that one, I'm going to give it a rest, and try it again in an hour's time. Well, no, not even an hour's time. I think a couple of minutes will do. Now this one, when I came back, I noticed that there was quite a bit of crystallization on the crocodile clip. So what I did was, I just moved it a tad and it went up to 40 milliamps. So again, connections are an issue, even with that, because obviously we've got evaporation up through the tape there, and it's crystallizing around the terminal. So these things definitely need to be sealed, which will also give them their own internal pressure, which should hold things together as well. So that's that. 23 hours on that, 52 with the other one. So we've got over 75 hours now. I am so pleased with that. I don't know if you can see that. There it is, 23 hours 40 minutes plus the 52. That's amazing. That's why I call it my amazing cell, my amazing crystal cell. This one then, that was on, I think it was 60 milliamps, wasn't it? Let's just try that again. Yeah, 80 milliamps. So a little bit of regeneration there. I can't really put any pressure on this with anything that's significant really to get the whole of the cell. So you see, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That bit of pressure. It obviously needs it, so what I'm going to do is leave that for a second. And well, I'm just kind of wondering what I didn't get out to get my fibre washers either. It was just one of those days, so don't even know what we've got in this one, to be honest. Not going to bother with the voltage. What I wanted to do really was just check if there's any current in it. Yeah, no, we've gone back down to 30 there, but I really don't know what to say about these connections. It's just hit and miss. It's too hit and miss, so I'm going to work on these flat cells, I think, for the time being. Okay, we've got 140 milliamps in that one. Not the best connection in the world, obviously, but I know it does more than that. So there you go, a little bit of pressure on the carbon fibre weave, and yeah, be interesting to get this one hooked up as well, because as I said, I would like to run the motor from this one. In fact, we could just try that now. And there we go, one spinning motor. So possibly what I'll do with this one is put this one on the motor with that current meter there, and we'll see what it does. It should last quite a while actually, but we'll see. Look at this again, and I've got, would you believe, a pair of gloves there. This has got to stop because I cannot get my nails clean. I've got a very hard scrubbing brush and I just cannot get my nails clean. So that's a bit of an update. As I say, it's Tuesday evening, and almost 76 hours. So I feel that that's just going to go on. We are still obviously in dead short, and there we are. There's the lead. I'll put this black one on because the terminal on this has just about had it, so yeah, that's finished. That's a shame really. I quite like those short leads, but I can always change the crocodile clip, so that's not a problem. So 30 milliamps then, dead short, 75 hours almost. Speak to you soon. I knew there was something else I really wanted to talk about while we're on. You see, I was watching a lot of people the other day on YouTube, and what they're trying to do with graphite, and get the lowest reading they can. I mean, I did this quite some time back. I did 3 different metals, copper being this one, aluminium and zinc. Can't find the other 2, but we'll just have to take a reading from this one. And this, which is my plastic material, I got quite a low reading from that as well. Don't know what we're going to get this evening because it's quite warm, so and it does vary with temperature, obviously. So that's my plastic. Now that is just basically styrofoam melted in acetone, and I just kneaded it in like as if it was dough, and then flattened it. But that's that one, and that's that one. The same material on the copper. I used epoxy adhesive for that, and you get it's conductive, so very conductive. Now this is the plastic. So there you go. Now this material at the time recorded 0.4 ohms on this meter, and it was almost identical on my LCR meter. So and that LCR meter reads very, very well. So we'll try this first, which is the plastic from styrofoam, as I say. Oops, and we're on the wrong one. No, we don't want capacitance, we want ohms. Okay. It takes a while on these lower readings. That's 2.8 ohms. That's at 1 centimetre. So let's try another area. It's going to be hit and miss because of the way I made it, but .6 ohms. So as you can see, even that, being a plastic, has got a very, very, very low reading, as far as I'm concerned anyway. People are talking about, you know, when they get 30 ohms and stuff like that, they think it's quite good, but in some things you need that resistance, especially if you look at stuff like Robert Morris Smith's inks and paints and things like that. If you're making heating elements or radiators or heat mats or whatever, you're going to need a slightly higher resistance. And again, it depends on what you're doing. Everything's different. All of the techniques are different. If you're using AC or DC, I've made up some stuff similar to Robert Murray Smith, and I used DC, and I got good heat from 3 volts. So and his stuff, I don't think he's done anything from DC. He's plugged it into AC 240 volts with he used a dimmer switch to control the voltage. Now I'm not saying he used 240 volts. What I'm saying is whatever the voltage was, maybe 40, 60, 80, 100, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, so it does vary with what you need to do. This, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I don't mean this piece, but the process. It's very, very good. So I just don't know yet. We'll see. I've given graphite and graphene, graphene oxide. I've made the stuff, but with these batteries at the moment, I feel like I need to go as far as I can go, and get everything right, and then add graphene to an area, and if it works and obviously makes it better, then that's what I'll do. But until then, I said the other day I'm about 60% there, and I said the other 20% is going to be my electrolyte, and the other 20% of the work is going to be making up the gel. But I think we best call it 50% in reality, because there's going to be 10% of something else. Don't know what it is yet, but there's going to be that 10% of something else. Anyway, back to this. This is my material again. This is copper PCB, but makes no difference. Hopefully it gives me a good reading, because I haven't tried it yet tonight. Okay, as I said, it is quite warm, so we'll go again. Okay, so there's this meter is very, very slow to record these lower readings. It does eventually get there, but okay, I think I'd happily call that 0.5 ohms. We won't say 0.4, we'll say 0.5. So, and that's a centimetre, so these these are not good, really. I should either do this with some new ones, or at least clean these things up. So now I am with wire wool, as you can see. Now those probes are side on. That I'm not putting the point of the probe into the material there. That is just laying on the surface of the material. Look, clean them up, and away we go. Now that's whichever one you choose, whether it's 4.3 or 2 there, 0.4, 0.3 or 0.2, it's a very low reading. So yeah, that's at 1 centimetre. I think that's brilliant. Never did try the voltage on this battery, but I'm going to try it now. Best to turn it to volts, of course, the meter, before you do that. Okay, 1.1 volts then. So yeah, all interesting stuff, really. Again, for those that haven't watched my other video on these materials and my low readings, and you're watching this one, then now you've seen it. So there you go. Speak soon. Obviously I'm going to be in the workshop for quite a while tonight, and I'm going to monitor this. I probably won't bother unless I've got something really interesting to say, which I probably haven't. You know, I won't bother now with this until it's sort of maybe I don't know, another 3 hours have passed or something like that. So the next video should be quite short. That'd be interesting. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, we've left this one disconnected, haven't we? So what I wanted to do with this one was, if we can get some stuff out of the way that we're not using, that's all, and find the actual lead. There it is. Okay, so a little bit of pressure. It's been sat now for quite a while, obviously. That's interesting on the aluminium, look. Oh no, it's not. Okay, now on to the zinc. get a connection. Yeah, 120 milliamps. So that's kind of doubled anyway. But as I say, with that one, I think I'm kind of wasting my time until I can build a proper pressurized cell. And the way I'm going to do it is perhaps form it in a piece of plastic as a case, where I've got around the edge raised plastic bonded on, so the whole thing sits into a recess, and you sandwich it with another sheet of plastic, maybe bolt it, get some pressure out of it. I don't know. We'll just have to see. There's a long way to go before I get to that stage. What I'm going to do is use a clamp first, with a decent sized piece of aluminium, not just that, but big enough to put the pressure on the whole of the cell. So, and there we go. I'm rabbiting on again, so I'll speak to you soon. Okay, I'm just messing around building another cell at the moment, and I've just noticed that the meter is flickering between 20 milliamps and 30 milliamps. Now, whether that's actually, whether it wants to drop to 20 milliamps, I don't know, but I've been having an awful lot of problem with these connections. I'm waiting for some new crocodile clips to arrive. All of these crocodile clips now are all rusted up and corroded terribly, so I don't really know if that's the connection again or not. But if I squeeze that one, makes no difference. I'll try squeezing this one. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you squeeze it and it goes straight to 30 milliamps, and if you keep the pressure on it, it stays at 30 milliamps. So I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it as it is, let it settle to 20. I'll give it half an hour, and then if I squeeze it again in half an hour's time and it goes to 30, then I'll know that it's probably the connection. If it doesn't, then we know that it's dropped to 20 milliamps. But you know what? 52 hours, the original, plus 25. 77 hours. That took a while to work out, didn't it? So yeah, back at the ranch, I'll just continue to build my new cell. This is just another container that I found lying around. It's have passed, and I think we could call that official, 20 milliamps. I'm not vastly disappointed, of course, because what time is it? It's quite late actually. Don't know what time it is. If that in the morning were to say 10 milliamps, I still wouldn't be disappointed, because that would be quite a long time. So anyway, I'll get back to you when I've built this one, finished doing what I'm doing. Basically what I'm doing is the same setup. I'm just modifying the electrolyte for now. The problem with this one's going to be, I've got this low grade magnesium. I've kind of run out of magnesium rod now, so I'm trying this one. It's slightly cheaper to buy, but I'm going to test it in a minute anyway. A moment of truth with this as I say, low grade titanium, magnesium. Got titanium on the brain for some reason. Anyway, here we go. That's against the crocodile clip, and this is direct on the weave. Not much of a difference, of course, but this I've built quite dry as well, as opposed to really wet. So I've given the cell no time to form, no time to produce anything, but as per usual, can't wait to dive in. $210 milliamps. We're on the 10 amp scale there, by the way, so not too bad actually, considering I know I've altered the electrolyte slightly, but it's quite dry in there. Seems to be holding fairly well. I think what I might try and do here is, because I'm having to stand here with pressure on that again as per usual, if I put that crocodile clip there, like so, and see how we go. Now, when I say I've modified the electrolyte, it's just the 2 salts, but I've tried a 3-to-1 mix this time. Obviously, with these things, what you need to do is stick to one format. I mean, you know, I really should be using the other magnesium that I've always used for this, but I just wanted to try this low grade one out and basically see what it did, and there it is. So I'll monitor that over the next hour and take another look in a while. We're on 25 hours 47 there, so just that's really to sort of collate this to that. So you know, you've got a time scale if you want to look at it. Just thought I'd put that bit in. Significant has gone on. We are at 26 hours and 12 minutes now. We're still at 20 there. This one, that cell that I've just made, we're on 140 milliamps, so seems to be going strong. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm just going to keep on experimenting with other things. When I say keep on experimenting with other things, I've just had a fairly radical idea. If it works, I don't know. We will see. All will be revealed if it does. It's 10:09 Tuesday evening. There's the clock. Still dead short. Still on 20 milliamps. This one is on 60 milliamps as we speak. I want to leave now and go home. So tomorrow morning, being Wednesday, I'll try my best to get across and we'll see what's going on. Okay, over and out for tonight. Well, it's 7 AM on Wednesday morning. I guess if you're told this is a story, no one will believe you, but what we got, 36. In fact, I have told it as a story to a couple of people and they didn't believe me. But we've got 36 hours, 50 plus 52 we need. So we've got 88 hours altogether on that cell in dead short. That cell there. I put the motor on this other one last night just to have a look. This one, this new one with this low grade of magnesium has just got down to nothing, died. So, I mean, it's on the 10 amp scale, but well, okay, I was wrong. It hasn't died. It's on just over 5 milliamps. Okay, so there's still life in even that one. That's overnight, obviously. This one has been overnight too. That one, 88 hours in a short, a dead short. Now, I have said this before, if there are any skeptics out there at all, and you do this sort of thing, build one. I've shown exactly how I built that cell. I've shown you exactly what's in it. Build one. Now, it's only 20 milliamps, but I genuinely thought that when that got to 40 milliamps, that would be it. When it got to 30 milliamps, I thought that would be it. Now it's at 20 milliamps, I'm thinking that's it. It being that endless loop. It's in an endless loop, but how long for? We don't know. But I'm just going to leave it. And, well, it's just a question of time now, isn't it? We're not far away from Christmas. So we've just got to wait and see. Video-wise, ideally I need to couple this with something else. I don't know what yet, because if you just keep doing a video update on one particular item, it gets a bit, shall we say, boring. I mean, it's not really. That's in a dead short. That one there isn't dead short. That's just running a motor. The one that I thought was dead isn't. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now, because I've got a busy day ahead. I need to get off to work. So, Wednesday morning, as I say, gone 7 o'clock. What I'll do is, obviously when I finish work this evening, we'll have another look. Over and out. Okay, it is 7 PM on Wednesday evening. Bit disappointed because I forgot to plug my charger into this morning. I've just plugged it back in now, and I'm hoping to fire it up. It doesn't matter because I know exactly what was on the clock. It's 48 hours and 42, sorry, 36 hours and 42 minutes. So basically, it's now 12 hours later. So we add 12 hours to the original 36, which gives us 48 hours and 42 minutes. Now, if we add that to the original 52 hours from the other timers and my other phone, that gives us exactly 100 hours. Well, and 42 minutes. But so that cell has now been on a dead short. It's at 20 milliamps at the moment, we know that, for 100 hours. It's not the way forward, I know that, but basically, you know, I shall build this coming weekend. I think I should build another 3 of those different formats and go again and see what happens. But I won't do obviously a dead short. There's no need to. I know what happens now. I know exactly how I constructed that battery. I know exactly what the electrolyte was. It is a magnesium rod, whereas this one is a very low grade magnesium rod. So yeah, in fact this particular one, that was doing 5, I haven't checked the video, but it was 5 point something milliamps. It's doing 5 milliamps now. It started off quite well. So even that, I feel even that low grade magnesium, we could alter the electrolyte for that. It's probably more alloy or aluminium in it than anything else. You know, we can go towards some form of aluminium sulfate or something or other, you know, chloride, or I don't know, aluminium something, to get to tweak that and get a bit more out of that as well. It would be good, it'd be okay. Obviously less cost, but they're not very thick, so you don't get a lot of surface area like you do with my regular magnesium. So it's all got to be worked out, hasn't it? I mean, you know, I like this 18mm magnesium. You know, there's a big difference on the surface area. So we'll see. It's all got to be tried and tested and all the rest of it. And I wish I could get this phone to switch on. Can't remember how you do it now. It's one of my old Samsungs. I don't mind getting this one messy. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, as I say, it's 7 PM. This one, I've just topped that up with fluid. It was looking a bit dry. Well, I say fluid, electrolyte. Again, just the 2 salts mixed together. I shall be moving away from that, I know that. I won't use salt in my batteries unless my new plan comes together, because I've had a thought. Everything's based on this activated carbon and with the binder in it, you know. It works quite well, and I'm quite pleased with it. So I know I need to weaken it a bit, and I do keep trying to do that. I've done a little bit more there, you see. That's another one. That is activated carbon in a binder again. So that's the way forward. And what I was looking at, it's funny really, because I looked at this isn't the way I'm going to go, by the way, but I looked at the Robert Murray Smith video on the carbon cell as it was described, which is a double carbon battery, i.e. Not 2 different metals, or dissimilar metals as it's called, but 2 dissimilar carbons. And he actually got, you know, Robert got a voltage from that. So I'm not looking at 2 carbons. I've already got 2 carbons. I've got carbon fibre weave, and I've got activated carbon. So there's my 2 carbons on the cathode. I'm looking at doing a similar thing on the other side as well. Now, that's the idea I've had, and I've been trialing some materials, and I've got voltage and I've got current. And the idea behind it is there's no metal, for one, and two, there's nothing sacrificial. Most important, because all of these things, I mean, this, you know, that, we know it's zinc, but that is sacrificial, especially if you use salts. Obviously you can work on electrolytes as much as you like, but I think there's nearly always going to be in this setup something sacrificial with the metals. So I mean, this one, obviously I'm just going to let it go and see how I'll have a tidy up tomorrow, but all of these, that and that will all be over there, on, you know, out of the way, minding their own business, and we'll just see how long it goes on for. It's that simple, really. So this thing now, it's a shame that the correct time isn't set on this one, but I'm struggling with how to remember to use this damn thing. Yeah, so the time is set back to 0. It doesn't matter. It's gone 7, but we'll start it now. Must remember to plug my... I have to take my charger with me, you see, to charge my phone. I've only got one charger. Well, to tell a lie, I've got two. I've got this in-car one connected up to the power supply, but it doesn't work in this older Samsung, so yeah. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, see again, contacts, look. I've ordered some new crocodile clips. I wonder if that one's got a bit of recovery time as well. A bit of recovery with time, I should say. So what was that? That was, call it 5 milliamps. And we'll just give it a minute and see what happens. I haven't got a clue what this one is or does, or I haven't really tested this one at all as such in a short and all the rest of it. I've just made it and left it, you know, let it stand there, but we'll let it run that motor, and see what happens. I've got a lot planned for this weekend, an awful lot. I'm going to be working an awful lot on, well, if the magnesium arrives, which it hasn't yet, from China, I plan to do a lot of work on electrolytes, as long as some of my other magnesium compounds arrive. I don't know if compounds is the right word, but the makeup of these salts, basically, some of the ingredients that was in the salts I've ordered, because it's all to do with magnesium, and we know that if you've got a piece of magnesium as one of your electrodes, you need magnesium of some description in your electrolyte. And it was the same really with that titanium that I tried the other day. You know, I've got a magnesium based electrolyte, and I'm trying to use well, that's the other one. What was that? We've got titanium, oh, and nickel. Yeah, so this titanium plate, which was quite cheap actually. I didn't expect titanium to be that cheap, but it was, and the nickel really. That's a bit thicker. But anyway, as I say, hopefully it's in the near future I'll be doing away with these, but for the meantime I will stick with using one metal and the carbon fibre weave. So I wonder if there's been any recovery. It was 5 milliamps, wasn't it? So here we go. There you go. I mean, I was talking for what, 30 seconds then, and there you go. So either way, with all of these things, there's going to be a recovery. Which is, of course, you know, the whole aim of this is not to build a battery that you throw away. It's not to build a rechargeable battery. It's going to be a battery that regenerates itself. I like that word, regenerates. The word it recharges itself, no, that's a no-no. It regenerates. I like it, I like that. So anyway, there we go. So they all regenerate. I know I mentioned a bit about YouTube and what I've been watching on YouTube and stuff like that. I don't particularly understand some people, and I'm not knocking anyone now per se. You know, I just don't understand some things. You look at some of these videos with these crystal cells and all the rest of it, crystal cell batteries, and you can see how old they are, these videos, and you can see right up until 2016, which it is now, until just after Christmas, of course, which is nearly upon us. And there's never any, what's the word I can use? Progress, if you like. I don't see progress. Now, I feel that I've made an awful lot of progress with these things. An awful lot of progress. Especially to get to my goal, which was 1 amp. I mean, I was getting 30 milliamps out of these things. I mean, I've got one over there, the laser saber one, you know, driving 12 LEDs off a jewel thief. That's great. But that's not what I want. You know, I want a cell now that will give 1 amp continuously. Now, if I've got to make a cell that delivers 2.5 amps peak and it will deliver 1 amp continuously, that's what I'm going to do. That's my next goal, to deliver 1 amp continuously. I don't mean it's going to drop from 1 amp down to 750, down to 500, although, you know, that's doing 20, but if that was 500 milliamps, you know, that's a wow factor in it. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, all these people are going, yeah, look, I can light an LED. I think, well, yeah, you'd probably do that with a lemon, you know, or 2 lemons, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. There's no progress, and I want progress, and I've made a lot of progress. I feel I have anyway. So it's not a gripe, it's not a moan this time. It's just it's something which I don't understand. No one seems to be progressing. Pete in Australia, better known as A, love all of his battery videos, and I really do like the guy. You know, he's a sort of bloke I could have a beer with, you know, and chew the cud with him, and that means have a chat, a right good chat in the pub. Yeah, you know, I don't know why he stopped. He shouldn't have stopped, really, doing battery videos. Pete, you should do another battery video, mate. Have a bash. But yeah, you know, Pete did a lot of interesting stuff. Maybe he just feels he got to the end of the road, I don't know. But anyway, all these other people, you see, they've all got this magnesium and copper. I found that copper didn't work too well for me. I don't know. The carbon fibre weave worked better than copper, to be honest. Perhaps again it's just an electrolyte thing, you know, there's no copper in it. I don't know what you need, copper sulfate or copper something, you know. But everyone seems to be set on this alum. Some people also use urea and stuff like that, but it's always this, what is it? They use salt, alum, borax, and what's the other one? The other one could be anything, couldn't it? I can't think now. Well, anyway, it's not important, is it? But everyone seems to be set down that path, and you know, Rochelle salts come into it and stuff like that, and you never see anything any different from that. I don't know why. There's no real progression with this stuff, these crystal cells. I mean, doping is another one. I do intend to try doping the cell with whatever. There's a lot I've got in my mind, and I daren't say what it is really, because you know what it's like when you open your mouth, it goes wrong, doesn't it? But you know, this activated carbon, I've already said, you know, that I've got another material in mind for this bit, which is this is a solid then, and it may work without that activated carbon. I don't know yet. It's the carbon fibre weave impregnated with resin, heated to a very high temperature, and they carbonise the resin. I've yet to get a sample. It's got to come from a, well, I can't remember, another country. It's a UK based company as well, but in somewhere in Europe, they make this stuff. So, you know, there's all sorts of things like that. Now, I'm also looking at doping the activated carbon. I've already tried this with the salts within this, and that works as well. Which is, I'm guessing, if you made a solution of activated carbon and your electrolyte, I mean, that would also work as well. Nothing wrong with that. That's how a lot of batteries are built, in that format, that style. So yeah, there's a long way to go yet. As I said, I think I'm 50% of the way. The other 20% is going to be electrolytes. I did change this from 60 to 50, so there's going to be 20% of the work is going to be electrolyte. What was the other 20 now? I know 10% of it is going to be working on this stuff, your separator. You can't use kitchen towel in a, you know, in this really. Well, I mean, you can, that's what I'm using, but if you were to build a commercial battery that, let's say, that you wanted to sell, there is not a chance you could use that, you know. So that's 30% of it, and the other 20%, I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, you know, I think I'm kind of 50% of the way there. So I'll stop boring you now. Obviously, that one, just to recap, is it's the same setup. It's the magnesium is a low grade magnesium rod. There's not much surface area on it because it's about 6 mil, I think. Well, that one as well is the same size, and so is that one. No, it's not. I tell a lie. That's about 8 mil. That one. Yeah, that's 8 mil. That's possibly 5 or 6 mil. You know, there could be life in that. Yeah, I don't know. That one is the same thing, and that's the one that we've had on for 100 hours now, in dead short. 100 hours. In fact, it's 101 now, if I add that 12 minutes there to the other 48 that was on the end of that 100. So happy days. Now I've written that down, 100 hours and 48 minutes. I've started the timer and we're 12 minutes in. We're still at 20 milliamps. That's been there for quite a long time now, and our cell is dead short. It's not always going to be that way. The next cells that I build, I'll put a given known load on them and we'll work it out properly. I know we're going to be there for a long time waiting for them to die, if they ever do. Looking at this, you know, if this is in a dead short, so let's say we started at 300 milliamps and it slowly dropped to 180, 280, 260, 250, da. You know, that's because it was in a dead short. If you put this thing on it, I think we'll be here till next Christmas with it, and it will still be going. So I've got to work out some kind of a load. That isn't going to be enough. I mean, we're looking at probably 20 milliamps there, I think, which is what that is, of course. I'd like to try a bit more of a load, maybe 50 milliamps. If I can find another motor that's 50 milliamps and works down to 0.2 as that one does, then that'd be great. I have to have a look on eBay or have a look in my man cave somewhere. I've got stuff everywhere. I can't even remember what I've got. Ah, that's a point. Yeah, I've got more of these. I've got quite a few of them. I'm a hoarder. I save old CD drives and DVD drives and all that. So yeah, that's an idea. Look, 2 of those. There's 40 milliamps of load, so that's one thing I could do. Yeah, I could run one cell with 2 of those and another cell with 1 of those, because they're all the same motor. Yeah, so that's about it for now. I've been talking for long enough. I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. I'm not going to be drinking tonight, so I don't fancy it. I'll speak to you soon.